And we're alive. Oh no. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so we made a level or two, and if the thing builds, then we should be able to jump in here and at least pick up a weapon. I mean a physics-based tool. Go, it spins around, we pick it up. Pew pew. All right. So I've got two different shotguns. I mean, physics tools in my scene here. And so I've got the one that's just a pickup, and it literally just has a box glider that's a trigger and that cool script on it. And then the script knows where the other shotgun is in the player's hand. Okay, so we've got that set up. So this shotgun, we don't have anything on it, but we can. We need to. So I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can jump into this. And I'm going to add a few things to this guy. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do is just add the script. So this will be fire shotgun, fire projectiles, make bullet go boom boom. Yes. Probably the one thing that changes every year is my script names and variable names because I get creative. Not very creative. We're just going to call this fire shotgun. We could use this. Let's just call it fire bullets. Then we can show how we can make this usable on other things. And what? Okay. Just randomly on a bunch of other scripts. Close all those out. Okay, fire bullets. So, a few things I'm going to need here. I'm going to need to look at my cheat sheet, obviously. I'm going to make a public, or again, this can be serialized. That serialized field or public, either way. And then you can also make that public or private. So this makes it private but exposed to the inspector. And I want to transform. We can just call this muzzle. We can call this go boom from here. Call this whatever. What did I call it last time? Go boom from here. Literally that. All right. Call it the muzzle point this time, just to be different. And then I'm going to need a, wow, it's trying to help too much. So it wants to do an in. I'm going to do a game object, which can be just about anything. In this case, I'll do the bullet prefab. So I need to know what kind of prefab this is shooting. Then I'll also do, well, prefab 2, that's fun. Okay. I'll do a float. That's going to be the bullet force. 4S. I don't know. We'll just make up a number for now and then we'll figure it out later. And then one more, and again, these serialized fields could be public, whichever. I'm going to give a float, and this will be the bullet lifespan. So how long before I want to destroy this bullet? Like 5 seconds for now, because if I'm in here going crazy, firing off these bullets that are going to have physics on them, and I fill my scene up with them, really, really choke that frame rate down. So we're going to say after 5 seconds for now, delete the bullet. And then one thing I'm going to do, I'll wait on that. We'll come back and do that part. All right. So in update, decide how I want to do this. Do if input get key No, we'll do get button. Get button down. And we'll look for fire 1. Again, there's a bunch of these guys already set up for us. Then I'm just going to go fire. I'll put this in a different method because, again, an update, I'm looking for input once per frame. But since I'm going to be doing cool things like using physics to push this bullet around, I'm going to do this in another method. Just going to call it once. And then there we go. We'll make fire bullets be a thing. Void. Trying to figure out what this error message is. Yeah, what if I ignore it? We'll try that. All right, so first thing I need to do is instantiate a bullet. So I'm going to create a game object. We'll just call this temp bullet and then object. I can do all this in one line or I can do it in two. I'm going to do it in two this time. So temp bullet object equals, stop helping so much, Visual Studio. It's too much. I take it back. I do need help. There we go. So I'm going to instantiate my bullet prefab at this point. So I'm going to create a bullet prefab at this point in space. Transform position, so it's all set up. And then just in case, I'm also going to pass it the muzzle point. Transform rotation. Weird. Stop helping me. Wow. Okay. Like every time my cursor gets close, it does a pop up. There we go. There. Yeah, transform. That's probably part of the problem. Just let me fix it then. Yeah, sneak one in. There we go. Oof. Wonderful, super helpful Visual Studio. All right. May have to cast this. I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and try it. This as game object, just in case it doesn't know what to do with that. All right. So we can do this. Usually you can figure these things out. So if there's not enough room, you can hit enter and kind of like move your big long line of code onto multiple lines. It's fine. No one will even get mad about it. So when we hit fire bullets, would you be happier if I made this public? Why is this still an error? Just save it, see what happens. When we hit that, we'll call this other method or function. We'll declare a brand new game object called temp bullet object, and then we'll instantiate whatever our prefab is set up here at exactly the point that we say it needs to be set up. So remember, this bullet we're going to make needs to have physics on it, so it shouldn't, materialize inside the player, inside the gun. We probably want it to appear right at the very tip of the gun at the muzzle point. Okay, so we got that guy set up, and that's just going to make a thing that sits there and does nothing. Bullet will appear in front of the gun. Doesn't do me any good. All right, so we need to make sure we have a rigid body on it. I'm just making up words for the comment here. So then we're going to get the rigid body, and then we'll add force to that. So we go ahead and do a rigid body. Call it whatever you want. Temp bullet RB works. And it just knows. So I'm going to get from my bullet object, I'm going to get the component rigid body off of it, and then I've got access to it. So I'll get my temp bullet RB right here, and then we go forward. Oh, that's interesting. It wants me to just do dot velocity. No thanks. So I'm going to add force. Yes, thank you. Transform dot forward. So I want the object to be pointing forward, and then I'm going to launch it forward times the bullet force. Is that what it's crying about? Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's exactly what's going on. I hadn't even got there yet. Okay. Okay. Let me just fix this, and then we'll do that. All right. So yeah, you're right. That's what I messed up. I didn't get very original in my naming. So after I apply force to this temporary bullet object, his rigid body, then after whatever bullet lifespan is, we'll destroy it. So we can say destroy this thing after this delay. Yep. And sure enough, I was not being original. So let me just change this. Fire this bullet. Singular. Just call it go boom. That's fine too. All right. We're going to do some other things with this. We'll bring in a game manager and all that kind of fun stuff so we can keep track of how many shots we fired and all of that. But for now, we've got, I think, everything we need to actually make things go boom. So save this, jump back to Unity. Wait. Let me see if I just messed something up. I kind of hope I did. I mean, hope I didn't, but it'd be funny if I did. Yep. That's hilarious. We're going to call that a side effect. So I just added that to this prefab underneath my player prefab, and that applied it also to the prefab here that is my pickup. So unintentionally, what I might have done is turn my pickup into a spinning turret that will fire every time I hit the fire button, which is kind of cool. We'll let that sit there for now, just to see what it does later. All right, let me hook this guy up. So on this one on my player, let me just change my player prefab. There we go. I'm gonna go to this. Maybe that's not what I want. Just delete that or hide that. So I get this other prefab hanging out in my guy, and then I want to add. Go back here and I'm just gonna do the override. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna apply everything here. Okay, so he's got his stuff now. He's got his camera. He's got his shotgun. So I hadn't saved that to the prefab. So the prefab now has the shotgun with the script. So I'll go into that. I'll go to my player prefab. I need to tell that where to live, where to fire from. So here's the handle of my shotgun. I need to add an empty to this. So I'm going to do game object, create empty. Empty child's fine, perfect. So that's going to follow my shotgun here, and we'll just call this muzzle point. And then I'll just move that empty hello. Yep. Yeah, I've got, that'll do it. I had ProGrid still on. Let me try this now. Oh yeah, now it just works. Fair enough. All right, so I'm going to move this guy up here. Z should be forward, so that's already lined up nicely. We're to ignore the fact that this is a double barrel, and I'm just going to keep it centered in the middle. I'm just kind of lining this up to the center of my barrels. Looks good. Okay, so I've got a muzzle point. So I'm going to go back here and give that there, and I need a bullet. So let me pop out of here. Did I already download the ball pack? Because that's funny. That's usually what I use. Guess I didn't. Train, Pro Western. Does Pro Western have some bullets for me? As you should. As you should. I could fire coins. You know what I might do is I'll just use this little trumpet guy as my bullet. Yeah, you can do anything you want. Shooting coins with coins, it sounds ridiculous. All right. So we'll do this. Yeah, I'll or should I use this life bottle? Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so we're just going to make a new prefab here. I'm going to drag the life bottle out. Let's see where it's at. It's just here somewhere. I just need it in my scene for a minute so I can set it all up. Okay. He's there. Here's a problem with this is it's forwards that. So it's just going to launch bottles looking straight up. We'll switch out the bullet later. For now, we're gonna go with this. So I'm gonna add a box collider to it. No, we'll do a capsule collider. Put a capsule collider on the guy. Move that around a little bit. Go. Smaller. So this is already a terrible idea. We like it. And I have to have a rigid body on this thing or it's not going to work. So I gotta add a rigid body. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off the gravity. Okay. Your pistol shoot shotguns. Perfect. That'd be just a way to unlock all the weapons. Like your pistol shoots out shotguns. You go pick up the shotgun and that shoots out like, rocket launchers. And then, yeah, everything's all together. So I'm going to turn off the gravity. I can leave gravity on and then this thing will like eventually bounce and land, or without gravity on, it'll just hit a wall and like bounce off more like a ricochet. And I think that's all I'm going to do the rigid body. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to make a new prefab out of it. Call this my bottle bullet because I'm probably going to change it up in a minute. It does not need to be static. fix that, and then I'll drag my bottle bullet down here. Now that it's all set up, I don't need it in the scene now. I just need to go to my shotgun and give it this prefab. So there we go. Is this the worst idea ever? No, but it's close. Okay, the script from last week worked. My in-hand weapon is not there. And since I didn't set up all the other stuff on that script, then my rotating pickup is not a turret, but I could set that up. So I'm gonna go grab this guy, and that's not a lot of force. Yeah. I'm just kindly passing out bottles with my shotgun. Here, that's for you. Just kind of floats off for a little bit. That's the worst. Well, if I change my force to 1,000? Ooh, it's a little better. It's still... Yeah. This is the FPS version of Root Beer Tapper. If you've heard of that old game. Yeah, and so we're just... Yes, from Wreck-It Ralph. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. So I'm going to actually make the bullet force 2,000. And I need some stuff to shoot at. All right, I'll stack up some treasure chests and shoot those. Okay. You've just seen Tron for the first time? Okay. Yeah. V1. All right, so I'm adding a box collider around this just so I can see stuff blow up. And it needs to have also its own rigid body or it's not going to blow up. Just going to knock these things over. Use gravity, mass is fine, all right. So this will be treasure chest, prefab. Drag that guy here. Here we go. Where's all my stuff? Okay, we'll do that. All right, we're just stacking boxes. I'm just stacking up stuff to knock down. That's all. Just to make sure that everything's working. Like speed wise, it looked like that was the right force of it flying across the map, but I also need to just check and make sure that it does. Yeah. No, I didn't put gravity on my bullets, so they ricochet like crazy. You can do whatever you want with those. So you can put gravity back on them. They are disappearing after 5 seconds. I'll show you what I did with the other one. Well, I think we showed that last week. I actually added a point light to my phaser bolts, so they look like they have energy or whatever. So you can add lights to your bullets, add whatever. All right, so that part works. We can move on to other stuff. Let me just grab all this. I'm going to create an empty parent. Just call it jump to shoot. And I am going to add a canvas to this so we can start counting up how many bullets we fired. And then we can swap out bullets later. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? Just to be dumb. I mean, cool, I guess. I'm gonna make my pickup be a turret until I pick it up. So it just needs a bullet prefab, and we'll just give it the same one. And we'll give it its own muzzle point. Which should be funny because it'll spin around at that weird angle like with the rest of the pickup. So that'll be interesting. Close enough. All right. We'll experiment with this ridiculousness. Then we'll add a canvas and count our bullets. Okay, so if I don't have a bullet in a shotgun in my hand, but if I hit fire, oh, it's not getting that. I'm kind of concerned. Why didn't that work? Because I didn't drag that in there, did I? Nope. Didn't. I made a muzzle point and didn't give it to the script, so I didn't know where to fire from. Yes. So now me, without anything in my hand, I can hit fire and just shoot at myself, I guess. Don't know why. Anyway, we did a terrible thing. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the pickup doesn't need that script, but since I just applied it to the prefab, it ended up with it, so I set it up just to be dumb. I mean, creative. All right. We need UI. So I'm going to do Text Mesh Pro, which will give me a canvas. And yeah, you can import that, I guess. Sure, give me the essentials. Okay, so I've got a canvas. It's here. There's a text object right in the middle. I don't know why I want that in the middle, but there it is. I'm going to hold Alt and click on this guy, move that up to the corner. Give him plenty of room. Move. All right. Now I'll create a game manager onto my canvas, and that'll just be who I contact and say, hey, I fired my gun. So new script, game manager. A class called game manager already exists. Game assistant manager. Assistant to the regional manager. All right, for this, we're gonna be simple. We'll do a lot more with this later. We're gonna get enemies in here. We'll give them health. We'll do all that kind of fun stuff. But for now, we just want to make sure something displays when we do a thing. So I'm gonna go again, serialized field or public. I'm gonna do an int because we don't need a float. Shots fired count. Sure, we'll start at 0. What's wrong with this picture? Okay. Text mesh pro UGUI. Man, I wish they could make that name longer. That'd be fun. Let's call it the shot counter text. Nothing to set up here. And so in update, there are other ways to do this. Update's just easy. Every frame, we're just going to check some variables and redraw our canvas UI. So literally, shot counter text dot text, and we can set that equal to something like shots fired in a nice space. Then we'll add in the variable shots fired count. I think this will work. Use a two-string method. So shots fired count is an int, an integer, it's a number. So I'm just saying convert that to a string, which is what these are. And so this should update. Will it update? No, we still have things to hook up. But this on the game manager side, or game assistant manager, excuse me. Make sure I have that saved properly. That should be all we need there. I'm going to go back to Fire Bullet, and we'll do some change here. So on start, because I don't want to grab it every time, I'm going to go get that thing. So I need the game assistant manager. We'll just call him manager. So there's again 100 ways to do everything. I could hook this up where I've got to drag it in, and it's set in the inspector, which maybe I should do that. But for now, I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna do game object dot find, and then I will find something literally called canvas. This is gonna break if I have multiple things called canvas. I'm going to find canvas, and then off of that, I'm going to get component. Game assistant manager. That's one way in script to set that up. Or again, I can do like we've been doing with these other ones, saying here's your transform, here's your bullet prefab, setting that up in the inspector. And then on fire this bullet, then all I got to do, before I even instantiate a bullet, but not before I start the function. Hello, there we go. I'm just going to tell the manager. So manager dot, that should be a public thing. Oh, I didn't make it public. I used serialized, didn't I? Yep. All right, let me go fix that. So again, serialize makes it public to the inspector, but not to everything else. This I need to actually be public. Why are you doing this? Someone hit insert. Where's the stupid thing? There we go. Okay. Public int shots fired count. So now it's public. I'll actually be able to see it from here. So manager dot shots fired count, and plus plus means just add 1. So starting at 0, I'm saying add 1. Every time I fire the bullet, add 1. Should be good to go. That's literally all we have to do here. This guy should be set up now. Doesn't work. Why? How am I dumb? I didn't tell it what text object to use. So I've got this guy here that I'm supposed to hook up. There we go. Right. So I've got this shots fired question mark is just the default. It should never say that in game because I've got it set to something else. So go shots fired equals 0. That's how many we've got. I'm gonna go grab my projectile. Now I can see how many times that I've fired this fire button. Woohoo. 38 shots fired. All I did was knock over some treasure chests. Kind of a boring game. But that's kind of all let me see. I think that's all we needed to get through today, unless we get into NavMesh right away. What time is it? 10:15? Shoot, we got time. Let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Okay. We're firing stuff. Now we just need a bad guy. Okay. We're going to make a really dumb bad guy right now, and we'll come in with a smarter bad guy on Thursday. So I'm going to go grab from my starter pack this Char 2 here. He's my cowboy. He's going to be our bad guy. Zoom in here. We'll put him up here. We'll give ourselves a fighting chance. Give us time to get to our weapons. So we got this guy. He's here. This can be literally anything. I'm going to call him appropriately Dumb Cowboy. I'm going to add, if it's in here, yes, I'm going to add NavMeshAgent. What are you throwing at me? Stomped his AirPods. That's what he gets. So he's a NavMesh agent. And we leave everything as is, then he's already set up. He's got this cool capsule collider around him that's not actually a collider. It's just saying this is where he is going to be at. So we're beginning very rudimentary. I hate to even use the word AI. It's not AI. We already called this guy dumb. He's going to be dumb. But here we go. So we're going to add our dumb cowboy in. And I'm going to give him a NavMesh script. So we're going to call this dumb cowboy agent. That guy up. And then let me cheat off of my previous self. Spin a minute. Here we go. Guess I could publish this. So there's some videos on NavMesh stuff. And I'm going to copy that. I'm going to start building my script off of this. So this is a cool thing that we haven't looked at yet, but I think is fantastic. Require component. Are you what? What's happening? Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I knew that. Oh, I need to do that before. Okay. Before I start the class, I paste it in there. And that's just saying that whatever this script on automatically needs to have also this component on it. So if I add dumb cowboy agent to anything now, it'll automatically also add NavMeshAgent to it, which is super cool. And then we don't get like this, oh, you didn't have a Rigidbody, you didn't have a this, whatever. It's just there. So I'm going to require the type of component NavMeshAgent, and then I will go borrow, steal, whatever from myself here, and we'll talk through it. So this is the base. These NavMeshAgents can get complex and fun and crazy, but for now, this is our dumb thing. Wow, apparently that's what I did. Here's me naming variables. NavMeshAgent, whatever you call your variable for NavMeshAgent. We can do better. So let's rename this inline. Call it maybe misspelled is going to be good. So agent dum dum is what we're going to call this guy. Huh? No gum gum for agent dum dum. All right. So I'm going to get the NavMeshAgent off of the thing that this script is on, our dumb cowboy. And then I've also got just transform is point B. So I do that on start, and then on start, I'm going to set a single destination, which is just a cool function. And I'm going to say, hey, your target vector is whatever point B is. And then I tell agent dum dum, go here. That's basically it. So let me save this. There's a few more steps to actually get this working, but script wise, we have something that'll go to a point B. Yeah. So I need to give it a point B. And so we can do this a couple of different ways. For right now, it's just going to be a static point B. I just want him to go somewhere. So he's just going to come up and stand on top of this. So his destination will be the top of the blue tower. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to create an empty. We'll name it. This is just an empty transform. I'm going to call it point B, and let me move it up here-ish. Super helpful. Thanks. We're saying go here, literally. Go to this area. It'd be cool if we could have him go to the TARDIS and like he would go to the level 2. We're not there yet. Fine. So we've got a point B. So I'm going to give that point B to my dumb cowboy. Just going to drag that empty over here. Point B is point B. And except for one magic step, we should be all done here. Let me just make sure my stuff is static. So I've got new addition needs to be set to static. And my Counter-Strike Pro build needs to be set to static. Yes, change the children. Static here, look at all these different things under static. Static means occluder static, batching static, navigation static. This is used for lighting. So if you're baking lighting, we're going to get there later. This says, oh, it's a static thing. I'll bake the lighting on it. The key here is navigation static. So I can bake my navigation, basically tell my agents everywhere they can go, and it won't work if it's not static. So let me just grab all my stuff here, and I'll go to Window AI. We got a couple things here. So we've got navigation, and we got an obsolete one. If you don't have AI, mine should have imported when I added this. So I started calling NavMeshAgent, and Visual Studio knew that I needed this AI thing. If yours isn't imported, then this might be an issue. So we may have to go to the package manager. I'm not sure. Let me go check my package manager, check yours. So I don't need to look at my assets. I need to look at in project, and AI navigation's here. So if you don't have AI navigation as part of your in project packages, you can go to Unity Registry and just start looking up what that is. There it is, AI navigation, import that, and then everything will work. So now with all that done, window, down here I've got a new thing called AI. I'm going to open up navigation. So I've got this new panel here. Drag it over. And then areas. All that. Where's my baked button? This is the thing that moved on us, didn't it, Matthew?
I think so.
Yeah. Blast. All right, let me just try this. So I'll go look at the other AI bits. NavMesh updater. That's for if I'm going from old to new. Don't need that. Let me look and see if the old one still works. It's here. Navigation obsolete. This is what I'm looking for. There's a bake button on the old navigation guy. AI navigation or open the window provided by. Okay, thanks for that. That didn't tell me anything. I'll just do it anyway. So I'm going to hit bake. Oh, it's here, isn't it? All right. So I went to my navigation obsolete. Oof. Sorry, this got weird. So AI navigation obsolete. It's still working. I hit bake, and then I've got this window here. It's been hanging out, and I've got this checkbox on show nav mesh, and so you can see now we added this blue pathing to everything that the guy can walk on. And it doesn't look like he can go up those stairs, so I messed that up. I can change my max slope, I think. We'll do 60. Hello? And then we'll clear and rebake. It's still not doing that, so it's probably the step height. I'll just give him a bigger step height. 0.5. Try that. See, I'm trying to get this blue poly over the top of these stairs so we can go to the top. So I'm just gonna hit bake again. Okay, we'll give him a step height of 0.8. If that doesn't do it, there we go. It looks a little weird. I'm gonna pull it down. Really fast. The other thing I could have done is just change my stairs, but you know. All right, well, it sort of works. I don't know why it's giving me those extra bits there, but he should be able to walk up the stairs from wherever he's at. I gave him point B. Everything should work. Let's try it. Let's try maximizing this here. So on play, we'll play maximize. Let's see what happens. This guy's a ghost, by the way. I didn't give him any Rigidbody or anything else. Let's just see if he's even coming toward us. There he is. Yeah. Yeah, I can walk right through him. He doesn't have. I can't hit him with my bullets. It's medicine. Be quiet. Yeah, you know, that's your own personal biases. Okay, let's see. Did he navigate the stairs? Did he? Oh, he's up. He made it. So that single thing that we called on start, and he just made it there. Stairs are terrible. I can't even get up without jumping. So he's a ghost, so he doesn't do any good. Okay, so that's our simple agent. Let me just pop back to this guy. I should publish this page. Time for the good old rubric check. Yeah, good stuff. I need to do that again. Matthew, was it your class that I had this popping up? Yeah, every time I hit the fire button, this GIF showed up on my screen of this guy having this fun. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, it was fun. All right, so we want level 1, level 2. We've got scene management. You're getting points for last week's stuff. We got a pickup. We can fire a unique bullet. We're going to add more weapons. We'll get weapon switching. Dumb agent, we just did. Just goes to point B. A targeting agent, we can have literally just chase us around. So instead of on start saying go to this point, on update, we'll say go to this point. It's a moving point. So this thing, the guy will literally follow us everywhere. Then we'll add win conditions, lose conditions. We'll do some other stuff. But for now, that's a good start. Besides, I want to knock this guy off of his path. So I'm just going to go back in here. And I'm going to give him we'll do a capsule collider. Makes the most sense, I think. And a rigid body. Now I should be able to at least knock him off path. Come at me, bro. Oh, I think he, yeah. He's trying. There might be a little bit of a bump there now that he's got. Yeah. I oopsed. Okay. We'll try that again. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done that. We need a good like you just fell into the void collider. Yeah. So his actual collider, I think there's a lip here where these two objects meet, and so his actual collider is just there we go. So I can knock him around a little bit. I just yeah, he's literally tripping on a piece of carpet right now. See what we can do about this. Man, I created this with grids on. I don't see what he's tripping on. Let me actually look at his capsule collider that I added to him. Is he too big to fit through the door? Oh well, that's a terrible collider. It's literally like just a big nub at his feet. That's what's catching on the next collider. Go pull this up. Yep, that was my fault. Okay, we'll give him plenty of clearance. Run, get the shotgun. It's a T-posing cowboy, man. We ain't messing with that. Oh, here he comes. Pew, pew, pew. He's not. Why is he not? Aha! That got him. Yeah. Basically, I'm a doctor. I'm prescribing medicine to this guy, and he's not having it. Look at him doing his little spin. So yeah, that's fun stuff. Yeah. Really, not even in Wyoming. Okay, there you go. That's the difference. All right. Shoot, we still have time. All right, let's do this. So we've got our dumb cowboy. Let me just see what else we can have as an agent. We'll just look at all of our prefabs. Broken bottle. Oh, I should be firing broken bottles out of my shotgun, not full bottles of medicine. Oh, here's the guy. All right, so we found our next agent. We don't need to rebake. We're just going to give this guy more stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and add. I'm going to add the NavMeshAgent to him. We can change this base offset so that he floats more. We can change their speed, their angular speed, all this stuff, acceleration. Let's make this guy scary. Let's crank his speed up and his acceleration up. And then I'm going to add another script. So we've got our dumb cowboy. We're going to have our smarter skull agent. Not super smart, but kind of okay. All right. Oh yeah, while we're here, I should give him all that other stuff too. So we'll give him a capsule collider as well. Give him a rigid body as well. A little bit. A little bit. It's almost enough to make me want to start grading again. All right, let me see. Smarter skull. All right, so I'm just going to copy paste half of this junk here. So I'm going to take my dumb cowboy agent and did I pulled too much, didn't I? Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Pull this in. So my smarter skull. We do have that, and we'll start with this other stuff. Okay, so I'm still going to have a point B. I'm going to change this up. It's the smarter agent. And we're going to have just a straight up target. We could still have kept this as point B, but I want to be very specific about this. And then I'm going to call this from update. Instead. So on start literally happens the first time we get into the game. Now every frame it's going to be looking for something else. So we're going to call this target. Really the same thing, except I'm calling it every frame now, and I'm giving it something that's moving around, which will be myself. So I'm still on start. I'm getting the agent. On update, I'm saying go get the guy. Let's just call it that. Why not? And then he's going to call out to this, get the current position, and head toward it. So this skull will chase me around the map now. Faster speed. I just need to give him my transform. Okay, so I'm just going to give him me, the player transform, and we'll see what happens. As we got this far today, we might even get to where our agents will fire at us on Thursday. Come on. Okay, here comes the cowboy. I gave the skull more speed, and he's not coming at me. What's happening? He's waiting to jump scare me. Oh! What just happened? Huh. He should be using the same one. Let's see if I didn't mess something up. So I'm going to reset his NavMeshAgent here. Do I need to set him on the ground? Do that. We'll just try that. Set him on the ground. See what happens. I'm going to go up unarmed. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with this guy. Skull's got a NavMesh agent. I reset all that. He's supposed to be going toward the player. Rigidbody and collider should be fine. Okay, I don't know why this guy's not doing his job. What date's not happening? Target, smarter. He's still just sitting there. I don't know why this guy's not agenting. All right. We'll fix this Thursday. Let's watch one more video after I stop this video. Chapel should be just across the hall, so we're not in a big hurry. Can I start this like a second in? Would you let me do that? Yes, please. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Stupid NavMeshAgent to work. It's like driving a grocery cart with 3 broken wheels.
I've heard on Reddit that AI is a lot harder than you think. That and multiplayer.
I know it's hard. That doesn't help, Joe. I just don't get why I'm getting this agent not on mesh bug spammed on the console. The enemy's
check my
clearly
console.
placed on the mesh.
Let me try to debug it. It looks like it is getting called when you have the enemy jumping.
Well, he has to jump. It is a jumping attack, after all. A jumping attack. How the hell am I supposed to keep him on the nav mesh when he is flying through the air?
You could have it just run straight at the player. You know how to do that one, Donald.
No, this one needs to jump. We need enemy variety to make a great game, Joe.
Well, are you moving the whole object during the jump, including the NavMesh agent?
Yes, this NavMesh agent is an agent of evil and the deep state.
Well, you can't actually make a NavMesh agent leave the NavMesh. You have to separate the pathfinding logic from the animation and physics logic.
Say it in English, Barack. English. I'll write my own pathfinding system.
Okay. Calm down, Donald. You got this. Before he jumps into the air, you have to disable the NavMesh agent, make sure he jumps to a valid NavMesh location, and then turn the NavMesh agent back on.
I believe in you, Donald. You know technology better than anyone else, like that Twitter thing you do.
Oh, wait, that actually worked. Thanks, Obama.
This one's particularly funny because I think I've had this exact conversation. Exact. Yeah, no, I've said that before too. Yeah. Yeah, so the nav meshes want to stay where they're at. We'll figure out why my skull's not working. We'll make this more chaotic Thursday.
I'm having an issue.
Huh?
How did you make it respond? So I have since for my guns, they're doing a rage face. I'm trying to follow that. And I have the direction, like the vector leave. I don't know how to make
I can't stop winning.
the bullet take it. So I can't stop.
I can't
Put it
stop
in
getting
like
chop
it only
credits.
takes the rotation. Stop it. But my show like give it the same rotation. So right.
So instead of the direction of the object, you're trying to get it to follow a ray?
Well, it's simply just this.
I've heard of it. Okay, that's why we're
It's like it's pretty much it's like since it's like a
We're just moving
Shit,
forward
let's go get a spot.
basically.
from the camera.
Alright, guys, let's go get a spot.
But I'm not sure how to play this spot.
So that's just setting up the initial rotation of the object when you instantiate the bullet.
Okay.
Like which way is it pointing?
Gotcha.
Okay, which is going to be a deal if we're going forward. So you're
Should I add the force here?
you just position. Yeah.
Oh, that's because that's a transform of the. This
Okay.
this is the
Okay, hold on. I'll pull up mine because we're trying to give it a vector based on that position.
I'm just it's. I'm just trying to make it to where it goes that way.
So this is what I've got. So it's my whatever the position is, transform dot forward. So the local forward, the positive z axis of that object's position. So Mason, you lived?
I did live.
Okay.
Barely. I couldn't walk until like Thursday.
Dang. That's hardcore.
It was not good.
Also, you got some extra stuff in there with your force impulse, your force note.
Yeah.
So, Mason, would you say this is a direct result of trying to take 87 hours in one semester, or?
I don't really want this.
Yeah. It's a tough thing to admit.